Thank you for joining us in looking at the prerequisite for mastering grade 10 to 12 mathematics. Mathematics is a language of trade. All kinds of trade use mathematics to model and solve the problems they face, whether it be accounting, engineering, medicine, or any other trade that exists. The topics to be presented here are what many pupils or students are deficient of. They are a stumbling block for many students. They are the major reasons why pupils fail mathematics. For you to be able to ace your mathematics, you need to master the following: basic order of operations, basic vocabulary mathematics. You need to understand fractions, exponents, products, factorization, and equations. Now, these topics are analogous to your A, E, I, O, U in an African language. No word exists without at least one of them. Then in the same manner, every problem in mathematics will involve one of the previously mentioned prerequisite topics. These topics are like a glue in the carpenter's workshop. They are like a needle and thread in the sewing factory. Now, let us look at the basic order of operations. You need to know where to start when you're given a problem. The very simplest problem that you will get in your grade 9, grade 8 mathematics, or even lower, would be to apply BODMAS. And two students given this problem will solve it differently. One will start from left to right. One will use principles that they are taught of BODMAS. And you realize that student 1 fails because he or she did not apply the right principles, and student 2 will make it. Also, applying BODMAS, we can see when we use sequences and series. You are requested to find the 27th term from the given series. All give the same formula, correct? All substitute correctly, but when it comes to solving the problem, one uses incorrect principles and the other one would use a correct principle, and they come out with different answers. So it's of importance for us to understand that we do not fail the grade 12 topics, but what we fail is our primary basics. The same applies to when you do products. You will need to attend to multiplication first, and in a complex problem like this, once the multiplication has been dealt with as a priority, then we can be in a position to do addition and subtraction and result with the correct answer. We have covered the basic order of operations, and we are now going to cover the basic vocabulary. For instance, what do you call the outcome of addition? What do you call the outcome of multiplication? And we can be given a problem that involves some vocabulary that you need to understand before you can solve a problem, like the sum of 3 consecutive numbers is 18, or the sum of 3 consecutive integers is 18. Find the integers or find the numbers. Then the problem gets solved. So the first term would be x, unknown. Then the following one would be x plus 1. Then the next one that follows will be x plus 1. So the important thing to understand here was the word sum. So the sum is the outcome of addition. So simply, then you can be in a position to solve your problem. The same method can be applied where you're given a problem to say the product of 2 consecutive even numbers is 24. What you need to know here, what is a product, what is an even number, Then if you know that your first term is x, then the second term would be added to would be the first term added to 2, or the first variable added to 2, to give the following even number. So that when you multiply the 2, they give you 24. So in that case, now you can be able to expand the problem and then find x squared plus 2x equals to 24. Then you can transpose and then be able to solve the problem. So the very important part here is to understand what the weight mean and how to convert them to mathematics. You need to also to master the following, which is fractions. Fractions are a portion of a whole. Fraction come in 3 different flavors: proper and improper fractions, percentages, decimals. You should be able to convert from one form of a fraction to another to be able to solve complex problems with unknowns involving proper and improper fractions, percentages, decimals. And as a result, when you are given a problem that involves fractions, it will become more easier on how to approach them. For instance, in this case, when you are solving a simultaneous equation, you would use your skills to do away with the denominators and to make your life simple, like in this case. Now, the next topic that is of interest to us is exponents. You should be able to apply exponential rules as given below. You should be able to solve problems involving sets, be able to solve exponential equations, for instance, as given in this example. Another example that follows. So exponents play a major role to understanding our mathematics. There's another flavor of exponents where they are used in graphs. The next topic would be products. We should be able to classify expressions: monomial, binomial, trinomial, polynomial, and be able to multiply them, which is multiply a monomial by a binomial and know how to deal with it, multiply a binomial by a binomial and understand how to deal with it, and finally get the answers. Be able to work on a complex product where, firstly, like I said earlier, you engage your multiplication, then add like terms, multiply what's remaining, and then also continue to attend to addition and subtraction later, and finally get the answer. You need to master again factorization. You should be able to factorize by taking a common factor, be able to factorize difference of two squares, be able to factorize a trinomial, should be able to factorize difference of two cubes and sum of two cubes. And as a result, for grade 12, you'll be able to factorize a polynomial. Now, when you look at a problem that we're given here, it requires you to calculate the coordinates of D and E, the given graph when you're given that equation. For you to be able to solve that, you should be able to factorize and recognize that D and E are x-intercepts. And in solving that, it makes your life easier to be able to achieve the goal that you are requested to reach. The next one is equations. You should be able to solve linear equations. You should be able to solve quadratic equations, and finally solve simultaneous equations as given by the below example. So we have covered everything that we need to look at. Now We request you to join us in looking at these topics individually to make sure that you master your mathematics. Thank you.